guys, welcome or welcome back to Randomly Random. I am Kwame, your internet bestie. Today, we're throwing it back into the day and watching and reacting to a 1995 classic titled The Devil's Advocate. The plot, a young lawyer who never loses any case is hired by the devil, but he doesn't know it yet. Grab your snacks and let's get into it.
The Devil's Advocate is an American supernatural horror film of 1997. The plot of the film follows a young Florida lawyer who's invited to New York City to work for a major firm headed by John Milton. While Kevin starts getting promoted to higher ranks due to his phenomenal skills, his wife Mary becomes haunted by frightening visions. Kevin's life takes a surprising turn when he realizes that his boss is not what he actually seems, but is in fact a devil in himself. The film starts in a courtroom where Kevin Lomax, an aspiring Florida defense lawyer, is seen listening to the prosecutor's claim against his client. Kevin is defending a schoolteacher, Lloyd Geddes, against a charge of some serious allegations from his students, and during the trial, he slowly realizes...
Look, I don't know. I've never watched this before. The teacher already looks guilty. So basically, he's defending the criminals. So he's a defense lawyer. Okay, let's see what happens.
Is that his client is guilty. When Kevin is asked by the judge to defend his client, he requests a short recess as he can't control his anger. Kevin has never lost a case in his entire career and is in a dilemma of what he must do to avoid breaking his unblemished string of victories. While Kevin is in the washroom, his reporter friend Larry enters and challenges him that his string of victories is finally going to break and he's going to lose his first case. Listening to Larry's remarks, Kevin becomes even more determined to win the case whatsoever.
Wow.
In the courtroom, he tries to trick the victim, who's a teenage girl, Barbara, through a strict cross-examination. Barbara loses her confidence, leading Kevin to secure a non-guilty verdict. Later, he, along with his wife, Mary Ann, and other friends, celebrate the victory at a bar. While celebrating...
Wow, she's a child. The teacher up her, right? How, I wonder, like, how do some defense lawyers do it? How? Especially when they know that the person they are defending is actually guilty and committed the crime. Especially heinous crimes like this against children. How? Like, how do they sleep at night? I guess some people are like really meant for that sort of life. Some people are really meant for that sort of life. Like they have a way of suppressing their conscience, you know? They have a way of suppressing their guilt and their conscience in defending these sorts of people. Because I tell you, that little girl's life has been destroyed for life. And this teacher will go on and do it to another little girl. Another person who could be his daughter in the future. You know? Ridiculous.
A representative of a New York City law firm, Mr. Heath, approaches Kevin and asks him to assist a jury selection in New York City. At first, Kevin thinks that Heath is bluffing, but when Heath asks him to join from next week and details the perks of the job, Kevin's forced to think about it. The next day, he goes to meet his fundamentalist mother, Alice, at a church and informs her that he's going to New York to select a jury. Alice thinks that this must be Mary's idea, as she is not a big fan of hers, but seeing Kevin's enthusiasm for it, she does not stop him. Kevin and Mary then fly to New York, where Kevin selects a jury for Heath's case based on his instincts. After the jury delivers a not guilty verdict, Kevin returns home and informs Mary about it, and the two of them jump with excitement. The next day, Kevin is summoned by John Milton, the head of the firm called Milton, Chadwick, and Waters. Upon meeting John, Kevin is intimidated by his kindness and also a bit scared by John's direct interrogation regarding Geddes' case. John is impressed by Kevin's honesty and takes him to his breathtakingly gorgeous terrace, where he offers him a high-powered position at his firm. Kevin accepts, and he and his wife move to Manhattan, where they're given a beautiful apartment to live in.
I felt like they were
Heath
going to
and his wife,
jump
Jackie,
off.
live on the same floor and give Kevin and Mary a tour of the place. Mary is over the moon seeing the big, luxurious apartment. Despite Mary's excitement about the new place, Kevin double-checks.
I feel like, you know, he is a lawyer. He's supposed to be smart enough to see that it's sort of somewhat too good to be true. Like, why is this law firm approaching him, giving him all these things? Why? What is behind everything they are doing for him? What will they take? What do they want in exchange? Why? Why are they handing all this over to him when he's literally done nothing for them? I get that when you get to a point in life, sometimes your track record brings you certain things. Like, people don't have to ask you to prove your worth or to prove that you can do certain things because your track record speaks for you. But this is sort of weird and too good to be true. They are just so enamored by everything that is being given to them. They are not looking at it circumspectively. Like, they are not looking at it deeply and trying to figure out, why is this firm approaching us? Why are they giving us all this? What is in it for them? That's a question they should be asking. Let's continue and see what happens, y'all.
If she wishes to return to Florida, but Mary assures him that she wants to live in Manhattan and earn enough money to plan a baby. Kevin finally starts his new job at the firm and is introduced to the entire staff. Soon, Kevin starts spending most of his time at work neglecting his wife. He is assigned a health code case to defend a black man named Movez. While Kevin is busy working on the case, Mary has nothing else to do but paint her walls. Soon she gets frustrated by her boring life as she's always been a working lady and befriends Jackie. Meanwhile, after spending days and nights on Moivez's case, Kevin finally wins it and is applauded by John for his outstanding performance. Later, Kevin and Mary are invited to the state's high-profile party. Mary is really nervous to go, but Kevin assures her that he will not leave her side. However, during the party, he's dragged away by his colleagues, leaving Mary alone with his colleagues' wives. Seeing Mary without Kevin, John takes the opportunity to spend some time alone with her. He shows a keen interest in her hairstyle and persuades her to cut her hair. On the other hand, Kevin can't stop
Whoa. Does he understand what boundaries are? He's overstepping his boundaries. Why are you telling your colleague's wife what she should do with her hair? You are not friends? Like, you've met only once or twice. What gives you the right to tell her what to do with her hair? This spells out controlling. Very weird behavior. Okay.
His sexy coworker, Christabella. When he sees her standing on the terrace alone, he approaches her and tries to make conversation. Meanwhile, Mary starts looking for Kevin at the party. But before she could find him, John summons Kevin to his room along with Heath and the firm's managing director, Eddie. He informs them that their very old client, billionaire Alex Cullen, is charged with the murders of his wife, his stepson, and a maid. Eddie, who has been dealing with Alex's case in the past, is pissed after John assigns the case to Kevin. Kevin spends some time understanding the case and later returns home only to find his wife boiling with anger because Kevin bailed on her. The next day, after Alex is out on bail, he lashes out at John for taking his case lightly. John assures him that Kevin is the best lawyer in town that he can possibly get, convincing Alex to accept Kevin as his representative. Alex warns Kevin that he has to prove to be as good as John has portrayed him. Meanwhile, Mary gets a haircut as suggested by John and spends time with Jackie shopping. While Jackie is trying on a dress in the changing room, begins seeing visions of Jackie.
Look, she's a beautiful woman. She's beautiful. Almost any hairstyle might suit her, but I don't think that was the right move.
Jackie becoming demonic. Petrified, Mary flees from the store, leaving Jackie and Eddie's wife Diana alone. Later, she bursts onto Kevin like a volcano when he refuses to believe in her visions. He tries to make Mary understand that it is her abrupt change of hairstyle,
she's beginning to see the reality of the situation, the reality of who they actually are.
Hallucinate of normal things, making Mary even more furious. She asks Kevin to return back to Florida as he barely has any time for her and tells him that they can suffice with a low salary. Kevin realizes that Mary has been feeling lonely and decides to plan a baby. Later, proceedings for the triple murder trial.
Why do people think that a baby will fix everything? If you and your partner are drawing apart, trust me, a baby will not fix it. Like, we've seen these stories so many times. We've seen this play out so many times in people's marriages. They think bringing a baby in is going to bring them closer, and it draws them even further apart. I get where the wife is coming from. It's like thinking that you want something, and then as time goes on, you realize that, okay, this is not actually what I wanted. Or this is not actually what I thought it was. So does that mean that all his partners are not human? Like they are all like some demons or something? Because I feel like the scales in her eyes have fallen, and she's beginning to see these people for who they actually are, as bad people, for lack of like a better term. Let's see what happens. The irony of just trying to fix your marriage with a baby. Like, what? I thought they were even about to say, he will plan to spend more time with her, be intentional, something. The narrator was like, he gives her a baby. Like, what? Guys, what do you think of the movie so far? Have you watched The Devil's Advocate before? Let me know in the comments. Let's continue.
Case began, and Kevin starts spending most of his time on it, further isolating Mary. Soon, Kevin's mother Alice visits New York City. While entering Kevin's apartment, she runs into John. While Alice gets a weird vibe from John, Mary suspects that Kevin is into Christabella, which is why he's come home late. The next day, Alice and...
This woman is not even more beautiful than your wife. Like, your wife is the standard, Kevin. Like, why do men always want to cheat on their wives, those who cheat with women that are like nothing like their wives, that can't come close? Look how beautiful and stunning his wife is. This woman just looks like a demon's assistant, okay?
informs Kevin that she's going back. She asks Kevin to look after Mary as she does not seem fine and suggests that they both return to Florida, but Kevin straightaway refuses.
She's a Christian,
Later
right?
at the office, he meets Alex's assistant and is happy to know that he has found a solid alibi for the case. Before heading home, John stops Kevin and insists on taking him to a wrestling match. On the subway, he messes with a stranger, and when the stranger threatens to hurt him with a knife, John surprises him by revealing to him his family secrets, leaving Kevin flabbergasted. Later, the two of them enjoy watching the match. When Mary calls Kevin asking him to return home, he shuts her off by saying that he can't say no to his boss and returns to enjoying his night. That night, while Mary is home alone, she has a nightmare about a baby playing with her removed ovaries. When Kevin returns home, she elucidates the matter to him. Kevin keeps assuring her that it was just a dream, but Mary is bent on believing that it is true. Since then, she reveals to Kevin that a doctor has diagnosed her with nonspecific ovarian failure and declared her infertile. She starts fearing that Kevin is going to leave her, and the frightening experiences begin to warp her sense of reality, so Kevin consoles her. Just then, Kevin finds out that Alex has been having an affair with his secretary, Melissa Black, so he rushes to meet him. He confronts Alex about it, who tells him that he was with Melissa on the day his wife was murdered. Later, upon discovering that Mary is sick, John suggests Kevin step down from the trial to look after his wife, but Kevin refuses to let go of the case as he fears he will start hating Mary.
There are more important things in life than money and prestige and having a name for yourself, Kevin. There are more important things in life. Your wife's mental health is literally deteriorating right in front of your eyes, and you still think it's a good idea to just continue on. I feel like this is actually a trap. The devil is giving him an out. The devil is giving him a chance to just concentrate on what actually matters, his family. But he's not taking it, and this will come back to haunt him, it will come back to bite him. Kevin, so many wrong decisions. Like, he's not even a man of his own. Yes, you can tell your boss that you need to leave to go see your wife. Him telling his wife on the phone that he can't say no to his boss is really weird. Why would he want to work in such an environment where you can't agree to disagree, where you have to be a yes man to your boss? Who wants to work in such an environment where people don't have a mind of their own? Clearly, he doesn't have a mind of his own. Even his boss is telling him, take care of your wife. She's not feeling well. We can tell that something is wrong with her. Even strangers outside of your marriage can clearly see that your wife needs you, but you can't see it Because what? You are money hungry, you are fame hungry, you are prestige hungry. What will it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Literally, like that applies here.
Costing him the case. On the trial day, Kevin plays smart in front of the jury, portraying Alex as the most corrupt man. However, he tries to make the jury believe that despite being corrupt, Alex is not a murderer. The next day, Kevin runs into Eddie on the street, who's pissed at Kevin for competing for his job after he discovered Kevin's name on the firm's charter. Kevin is clueless about the situation and denies any knowledge of this. However, Eddie is convinced that Kevin is after his job and threatens to inform the United States Attorney's Office of the firm's illegal activities. Furious, Kevin relays the situation to John and informs him about Eddie's threats. John calls his assistant, asking him to summon Eddie to the office. Meanwhile, Eddie is seen jogging in a park where he's beaten to death by vagrants with demonic appearances sent by John. Later, while preparing Melissa to testify about Alex's alibi, Kevin realizes that she's lying. He loses his cool and exits the room, only to find that Eddie has died. While leaving for the trial, Kevin informs John that Alex has set him up and that he believes Alex is guilty. However, Kevin can't afford to lose, so he decides to play along as it is.
Wow.
The trial begins, and after calling Melissa on the stand, he proves Alex.
So basically, he just keeps compromising just so he can win. It's like he's just win hungry, you know? Just those accolades are enough for him. Even when he finds out that the person is guilty. And I mean, what else can he do? He's the defense lawyer. He's supposed to actually get them out of their troubles. That's why people hire defense lawyers. You either hire them to completely escape, punishment, or to at least get something like the most minimal punishment that is given out. So yeah, I guess he's doing his job. That's what makes him a good defense lawyer, I guess.
Not guilty through Melissa's fabricated testimony. After the trial, Kevin is informed about Mary's miserable condition, so he races to the church, only to find Mary covered with a blanket and claiming that John assaulted her. When Kevin asks her when this happened, she tells him that she got assaulted the entire afternoon. Kevin refuses to believe it since John was with him in court all afternoon. Mary tries to assure Kevin that she's not lying and removes her blanket to show Kevin her body brutalized with cuts and scratches. Kevin assumes that Mary has gone crazy and injured herself, so he admits her to a mental hospital. While seeing her off, Mary tells Kevin that it is the blood money they took from the guilty which is causing them problems. She begs Kevin to take her back to Florida and tries to assure him that she's not crazy, but to no avail. Later at Eddie's funeral, Kevin sees visions of Geddes and Alex and immediately leaves the church. Outside the church, he meets a U.S. Department agent who has been investigating John and his firm. He offers to help Kevin and warns him that John is corrupt. Kevin refuses to listen to him and keeps walking away, adamant to help. The agent tells Kevin that the body of a 10-year-old girl was found in Geddes' car, for which he has been arrested. Just then, the agent is struck by a car and killed. Later, Kevin visits Mary, only to find his mother.
That means this John devil man keeps just killing people. Anybody that is onto him gets killed. And it's so weird that as smart as Kevin is as a lawyer, he hasn't put things together. He still hasn't put two and two together. That something is off about the firm he's working for. There have been too many tragedies in the short span of time he's been with them. Aren't his spidey senses tingling? What? How can you be in a firm where somebody died, a 10-year-old girl's body is found in one of your colleagues' cars, your wife is claiming that your boss has assaulted her, you know that you guys, the firm operates or indulges in criminal activities, covers up crime and things like that, and you are still there. Your wife is getting crazy, and she only started getting crazy immediately you guys moved to New York to join this particular firm. Your wife was okay the entire time you guys were in Florida and you were working for another firm. And as smart as you are, you've not stopped to think, wait, something is going on here. There's something going on here. I don't know what it is, but something is going on here. Let's see.
Alice and his case manager Pam at the hospital. Seeing Mary's miserable condition, Alice takes Kevin outside the room and decides to tell him the truth about his father. Kevin lashes out at her for choosing the worst timing to reveal the truth that she's kept from him for 30 years.
What's the truth?
Just then, Mary sees visions of Pam becoming demonic, and so she attacks her with a hand mirror. Hearing Pam's screams, Kevin rushes to the room only to find that Mary has blocked it with a chair. Kevin begs Mary to open the door, and before he could break in, Mary kills herself by slitting her throat with a shard of mirror. Kevin laments her death and then goes to Alice and asks her to complete the story. Alice reveals that John is Kevin.
His wife killed herself in the end. Oh my God, she was miserable in the end. Like she felt misunderstood and wow, I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that. I didn't expect that we will lose his wife. Whoa, okay. This really turned dark. Darker than it has been.
Kevin's father, whom she met in New York in 1966. She apologizes to Kevin for not telling him the truth the day she met John at his apartment, as she didn't want to break Kevin's heart, who's been thinking that he achieved so much based on his capability. She begs Kevin to leave everything and come back to Florida, but Kevin dismisses her request.
Wait, does he know John is the devil now?
He's surprised to see the empty streets. He then goes straight to meet John and confronts him about Mary. When John admits that he assaulted Mary, Kevin shoots him multiple times, but the bullets pass straight through him. Kevin is shocked, and when John reveals that he is Satan, Kevin realizes that Mary understood this from the start, which is why John killed her. Kevin blames John for everything, but John reminds him that he had a choice to leave, making Kevin realize that he always wanted to win no matter what. John then says vanity is...
See, I said it. I knew to come back to haunt him. I knew that John was like giving him an out in a way, and John will use it to sort of taunt him that, hey, you could have always left. I told you to leave. I told you to take care of your wife. You didn't listen. But wait, did John know that Kevin was his son, or does John know that Kevin is his son before inviting him to join his firm? I'm wondering if John knew or knows. We're not clear on that yet.
Definitely my favorite sin, and then introduces Kevin to his half-sister, Christabella. Claiming to be a humanist, John reveals that he wants Kevin and Christabella to take over the firm, and also wants to start a family for which he wants Kevin and Christabella to conceive the Antichrist. At first, Kevin agrees to it and starts to negotiate with John. Christabella can't wait for Kevin to lay on her, so she drops her clothes, attracting Kevin to herself. Kevin reciprocates, but then all of a sudden shoots himself in the head. John's rage erupts like a volcano, setting the entire room on fire. Before burning to death, he transforms into his demonic form, turning into a white angel who resembles Kevin. The scene cuts back to when Kevin is at the recess of Getty's trial. He returns to the courtroom and, seeing Mary in the audience, kisses her tightly. Knowing that Getty is guilty, Kevin announces that he cannot represent his client despite the threat of disbarment. When Mary asks Kevin what he just did, he answers by saying that he did the right thing. Outside the courtroom, Larry offers Kevin an exclusive interview that will portray him as a star and make him famous. At first, Kevin hesitates, but after Mary motivates him to do it, he agrees. The film ends with Larry transforming into John and saying, "Vanity, definitely my favorite sin." The movie has a rating of 7.
Guys, this is the most unexpected plot twist I have ever encountered in a movie. Like, I am not even joking or exaggerating. All that roller coaster we went, look, they got us. They got us. They got us hooked. Only for us to find out that all that was just a vision he was, for some reason, experiencing. All the emotions we felt, the anger I felt towards Kev for choosing power, money, and fame over his family. You know, the anger I felt toward the fact that he didn't believe his wife. The pain I felt when his wife supposedly killed herself. All these people being killed and all of that. All that was just a vision. I can't. I can't believe this. What? Wow. Nah, they got us hooked. These people are good. The writer is good. And it's so funny because in the end, he still fell for vanity. Because literally, the writer said, like, we felt all those emotions just for us to realize that what he was experiencing was a vision. He came back to the courtroom and said, I will not defend this guilty man, you know. And then when he was walking out of the courtroom with his wife, the writer still offered him a write-up for fame and success. He didn't want to take it, but his wife pushed him to take it. He still settled for vanity in the end, and then only for us to find out that the writer is still the devil. No wonder the devil said vanity is one of his favorite sins, or whatever he said at the end, because he still fell for it. I feel like it is his wife that was technically pushing him to accept all these things, because remember in the first case, his wife also pushed him. But I feel like she's just being a supportive wife, not knowing that she's pushing all these things on him. Whew, wow. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 in my books. I've never watched the movie before, but just watching this, because of every emotion I felt, I feel like the narrator did a good job recapping the movie. But if you have watched The Devil's Advocate 1997 before, and you still think that the narrator left out certain details that will help us even appreciate this masterpiece, classic, even more, let us know in the comment. Have you watched The Devil's Advocate before? Guys, I think the movie is over 20 years old. It's literally going on 30 years. Wait, how old was Keanu Reeves when he acted this? Because he actually looks quite young. And Al Pacino, or whatever his name is, I don't really know how to pronounce the name. But I mean, what do we expect? Keanu Reeves, Al Pacino, I mean, we should expect nothing but the best when they are in movies, I guess. Wow, this movie is almost going on 30 years. I mean, some of us were not even born when this movie came out. I don't think, maybe you weren't born when this movie came out. Maybe you were. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Does this bring back some memories? If you've watched this movie before, when it came out in 1997, right? Do you remember what you were doing? Like, what sort of, like, stage of your life you were in when this movie came out? What were you doing when you watched this movie for the first time? Let me know in the comments. I'll love to find out. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around and watching The Devil's Advocate 1997 with me. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this movie with me. Thank you for joining in this watch party and reaction. Please do like the video if you enjoyed this watch party. And until our next watch party and reaction, don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.